Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, a young girl growing up in a small town with big dreams and heaps of ambition is a story we are all familiar with in our country. Fazila Ali has one such story and was able to start a thriving business with a little help along the way and is now the managing director of K9 Foods. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So, I mean, your story is incredibly inspiring, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. So, you're from Malmesbury originally, and when you were really young, you got involved in the dog food industry. What was your position and why were you passionate about it?
I can't say that I was passionate about pets at the time. I've always liked pets, specifically cats. But it was never the intention to go into the pet food industry. I just happened to find a job at the admin at a pet food facility. Yeah. And I think my motivation to go from starting as an admin clerk up ending as the MD in a period of 17 years was motivated by me wanting to know more. I've always been a curious person and I needed to understand things. So I've always been just driven that way. To understand things.
It's funny how things work out, and now you're certainly very passionate about it. So just starting off as an admin role, and now you own the company.
Yeah. Well, that's the same company. I bought when I was the MD, and especially towards the last 2 years of the 7 years that I was the MD, I must be honest, I was getting bored. It was the same old things, and I've realized that there was no real growth opportunities for me within the business, short of me staying on for the next 17 years being the MD. I realized I've always wanted to be independent and start my own business. And the opportunity presented itself at the time through a few hiccups. But yeah, I ended up with K9. And 4 years later, we've got quite a nice facility running. Still a lot of challenges that we need to face. But yeah.
And I suppose proof is in the pudding, and you've shown that taking those massive risks sometimes are really worth it. And then you partnered with Woolworths, which must have been, you know, such an amazing meeting. I mean, what was that like when you get assisted by, you know, a company of that size?
I bought a pet company that produces frozen pet food. I thought that the type of product will fit in nicely with the Woolworths range. Got to Woolworths and Woolworths said, no, we're not interested in frozen pet food. And the guy said to me, but we import quite a bit of pouches and other range. Would you be interested in doing that? And when I did my research, I realized, okay, we're looking at a couple of million. Where I'm going to get that? But yet, saying that, I thought, got to Woolworths says this is what is needed. And the team at Woolworths, especially on the enterprise development side, I can take my hat off for the support that they've given us, helping me setting up the business, doing the business plan, getting the funding, supporting me that way. And even now with the challenges that we face on the production side, the technical team on the commercial side, they have been tremendous in their support through a business like ours. And it fits in with their plan of localizing businesses and instead of doing imports, have that import replacement program running. So it was just been amazing support from the whole Woolworths team.
Amazing. And is it a case of that you learn as you grow, or what are some of the things that you wish our viewers, like some of the things that you wish that you knew before going into a business like this, and what should aspiring entrepreneurs be very cognizant of when they're developing and building and growing their businesses?
I think the biggest challenge that you need to be aware of is trying to keep focused all the time. There's such a lot of moving parts that's happening at the same time and such a lot of distractions that you can be sidetracked. I think that's the biggest thing that you need to know. And understand your product, understand what sets you aside from the opposition. Because when you go and present, whether it's any kind of service or product, whatever you go and present to your potential customer, understand what makes you different and set you aside from the rest. And be passionate about what you're doing and understand your product. And that comes through when you go and sit in front of that buyer and trying to sell a product and a dream. And telling them this is what you want to do and why you should be taken seriously.
Thank you so much for being here today and, of course, for inspiring us and inspiring all of us budding entrepreneurs. Thank you very, very much. It just goes to show the future is female.